Good evening, everybody. My name is Quetzal Flores. I'm your host for today. Coming to you live from a place where, starting in approximately 2500 BC, for 4,000 years, the original people of this land, known as the Tongva, held a sacred relationship with the land. In 1592, European settlers, backed by military force, began to occupy these lands. By 1769, European diseases, much like the coronavirus, began to decimate an entire population of Tongva people. By 1771, those who remained were enslaved and forced to build the San Gabriel mission. In 1785, a medicine woman named Toipurina was involved in planning a revolt against the Spanish colonial rule. In an effort to protect the self-sufficiency or autonomy of their communities, retain their tribal cultures, and uphold their religious practices and beliefs, many Native people at this time had long been actively resisting the Spanish-imposed rule and attempts at acculturating people. Toipurina emerged as one such individual. In October 1785, she joined a group of Tongva people to plot against the mission. This included indigenous people from as many as 8 villages in the surrounding area. Throughout history, many brave and radical women have left us with powerful examples of how to refuse the unlivable conditions in which we've been forced into. Names like Gaitana, Comandante Ramona, Berta Cáceres, Buffalo Calf Road Woman, to name a few. And why am I telling this story? Well, since the time of colonization, a system known as capitalism has emerged as seemingly the only system that exists. In this system of capitalism, everything is potentially for profit, for sale, including food, healthcare, education, and finally, housing. And like these brave and radical women I mentioned earlier, I'd like to invite everyone listening to challenge this idea and come together to make sure that these basic human rights like food, healthcare, education, and yes, housing should be available to everybody. So Right to the City Alliance, a national alliance of over 80 housing, racial, economic, and environmental justice organizations are joining forces with a whole cast of socially engaged artists via Artivist Entertainment to launch a 10-day online concert series. Welcome to Cancel Rent Festival, Day 3. With the coronavirus, millions of people are unemployed and will become unemployed, unable to make rent, mortgage payments on April 1st, which is why, under the umbrella of Beyond Recovery, Homes for All campaign are calling on politicians to cancel rent, cancel mortgages, and homes for all renters and homeowners. Small businesses and people experiencing homelessness during the duration of this public health and economic upheaval. And lastly, to ensure a 3-month recovery period. If this speaks to you, will you not be able to make rent or mortgage payments come April 1st or May 1st? Fill out the survey in the description below or the chat box and sign on to the list of demands. We are demanding no new debts and the immediate cancellation of rent, mortgage, and utility payments. People must be able to stay in their homes. The unhoused must be housed immediately, and people need to be released from cages. Vital public goods and utilities should be restored to all homes. Lastly, all people, regardless of their status, must have access to sick time, worker protections, and basic income for all. Collectively, each of you can pressure politicians in your city to make these demands with unified action. The first step, signing on to the demands in the description below. The second step is sharing hashtag Cancel Rent Festival on all social media platforms with hashtags hashtag Cancel Rent, hashtag Cancel Mortgages, and hashtag Homes for All. The Cancel Rent Festival will be broadcasted live Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and on weekends at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Pacific time. Stay updated, subscribe, and like Right to the City Alliance on all social media platforms. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome from the multitude of powerful women from my community, Maya Jupiter and Marisa Ronstadt. Who need to unmute themselves.
Sorry about that. Okay, we're live. Cancel rent. Okay. You see, we're doing this. This is very weird. We're not used to performing through the computer and off Bluetooth speakers, but here we are because we really want to get this message across, and we really believe that art is a great way to build awareness and to engage people. So I want to share a song called Madre Tierra with you that actually Quetzal Flores produced. He produced my whole album. And I hope you enjoy. This features Los Cojolites. How does it sound? Does that sound good? Good volume? Okay. I'm the healer, protector, the teacher of time, the nurturer, the fighter, the enemy of lies, staying quiet. Still, I'm absorbing all stress until I explode. Then I am civil unrest. I'm the hope that was born in Malala's heart, the dream of Sandra, looking for a fresh start. I'm the will of Rayhan, I keep Island safe, a fire born in Annie after surviving rape. I'm a mother, a daughter, a grand and a great responsibility to support and create. I'm the fight against a corrupt prison system, standing on the front lines, robustly resisting. I'm the key that unlocks every detention center, the cord, the blood, the mighty placenta. I am fierce, ferocious, and furiously strong. I am Mother Earth, and this is my song. Madre Tierra, they try to bury us, they didn't know we were seeds. So what are we gonna do? Keep on watering and pulling out the weeds. Madre Tierra, they try to bury us, they didn't know we were seeds. So we keep on watering and pulling out the weeds. I'm relief, gazing in my newborn's eyes, her cackles, her laughter, and all of her cries. I'm a guardian, a keeper of tradition and faith, of memory, of truth, the tomorrow that awaits. I'm an aspen connected to 1,000 trees, roots and leaves, fruits and seeds. I am fierce, ferocious, and furiously strong. I am Mother Earth, and this is my song. They try to bury us, they didn't know we were seeds. So we keep on watering and pulling out the weeds. They try to bury us, they didn't know we were seeds. So we keep on watering and they try to bury us, they didn't know we were seeds. So we keep on watering and pulling out the weeds. I can hear you singing along at home, I can feel it, come on. Woo! Yeah. On the moment Nigeria became politicized, like the second that Angela became radicalized. On the intention of sending a child across the border. I am Diana's gun, restoring all the order. I'm Jolene, and I'm at the head of the struggle. I am Banana, and Monsanto is in trouble. I am fierce, ferocious, and fiercely strong. I am Mother Earth, and this is my song. On the moment Nigeria became politicized, like the second that Angela became radicalized. On the intention of sending a child across the border. I am Diana's gun, and I'm restoring only order. I'm Jolene, and I'm at the head of the struggle. I am Banana, and Monsanto is in trouble. I am fierce, ferocious, and furiously strong. I am Mother Earth, and this is my song. Say her name. 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 Presente. of course, always dedicated to those who are no longer with us, women who've lost their lives to violence. We say their names. Thank you. Cancel rent, cancel mortgages, cancel debt, and homes for all. Absolutely. I want to shout out Mr. Ernesto Llerena here in the background, the beautiful art pieces that you're seeing. And now I want to introduce you to a really good friend of mine, Marisa Ronstadt, who is an incredible singer in multiple genres. You can sometimes catch her singing beautiful mariachi music, but tonight she's giving us her beautiful neo-soul music. She's also worked with Mr. Quetzal Flores here. Marisa, tell us what you're going to sing.
Oh, I actually have Ernesto hanging out in my living room as well. So
oh, yeah.
I am going to sing a song inspired by the deaths of Trayvon Martin, Eric Gardner, and so many others that have passed away due to police violence and brutality. And the song is called I Can't Breathe. I can't breathe. I can't see. But I feel the barrel of your gun on me. My heart swells when I hear those bells, bells of freedom ringing out for me. Bells of freedom ringing out for me. Yet I still can't breathe. Breathe for me. Yet I still can't breathe. Breathe for me. I don't have a gun. Stop shooting. You've been looting from us from the beginning. Buildings burn. Does it feel good that you took away these short years I've been given? That you took away these short years I've been living, yet I still can't breathe. Breathe for me, yet I still can't breathe. Breathe for me. I can't breathe. I can't see. But I feel the barrel of your gun on me. My heart swells when I hear those bells. Bells of freedom ringing out for me. Bells of freedom ringing out for me. Yet I still can't breathe. Breathe for me. Yet I still can't breathe. That was a production by Quincy McCreary. We wrote that together in honor of those that have passed away. So cancel rent, y'all.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Maya and Marisa. So, as we go through, we're gonna talk about some things. We're gonna, ask some questions, and we're gonna really think about ways in which people around the country, renters, homeowners, small business owners, and unhoused people like you and me are unifying to ensure that we not only survive this crisis, but that we thrive in the face of this crisis now and into the future. And people in Massachusetts, New York, Kentucky are demonstrating, are pushing people to enact moratoriums, to enact policy that would halt evictions and eviction proceedings. These are powerful steps towards a very basic thing that we need, which is a future free from debt, with safe, dignified, permanent, cage-free sanctuaries and homes. We need a future where all public goods and utilities are guaranteed and our work is protected and valued. So I want you to sign on to the demands in the description below in the chat box. So at this moment, I want everyone to look at themselves, some reflection of themselves in a mirror, in your computer, or whatever, however you can see yourself. I want you to look at yourself. I want you to look at your eyes, look at your face, look at your hair. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're important. You're human. And we have to remind ourselves of this daily, and we have to remind each other of this daily. And guess what else? Because you're human, you bring a bunch of stuff to the table. Everybody, and I mean everybody, has experience, young and old, ideas, thoughts, and lots of questions. So I got some questions for you too. What are you seeing in your life and culture and work and family at this moment in your community that is deeply inspiring? I want you to really think about that. Ask yourself that question. What are we learning about this moment and ways in which we can show up for one another? Spiritually, mentally, physically, what are you building, or what support do you need? And how are you voicing this support or this thing that you're building? And then lastly, what cultural resources exist in your community that without them, it wouldn't be the same community? And so whatever that answer is valid and it's powerful. And I want you to hold that answer or that question and the answer very close and take good care of it and share it with others. Which brings me to my next set of songs from Maya and Marisa, which is going to be Rico by Maya and Change by Marisa Ronstadt. Take it away.
Yes, Rico is a song which I wrote with Quetzal and his beautiful, talented wife, Dr. Marta Gonzalez, who you saw yesterday at the Cancel Rent Festival. And the chorus is in Spanish, and it talks about, I might not be rich in the terms of having money, but we're rich with hope, and we have an abundance of joy and all those other ways that Quetzal was saying, culturally speaking, that we feel rich. And this song features my husband, Aloe Black, so I'm going to invite him to sing on this song with me. Here we go. Yes. Hi, honey. How you doing? Do you want some headphones? You good?
I'm good.
Okay, great.
I can hear the music good. Make sure it's loud enough.
Thanks for not letting me hang out here. I was like, don't leave me hanging, singing this by myself. Whoops. I'm gonna copy you. Uh-oh. It's your turn.
Buenos dias, good morning, let the sun shine through. Even if I had nothing, I'd give some something to you. I'm not worried about a thing, just what good the day will bring. I got the spirit in me. Little children with no shoes running in the street. Mama working in the kitchen fixing some need. All the neighbors out front playing dominoes, drinking beer in the shade, trying to beat the heat.
Maybe I don't have as much as the next man. No matter how much money is in my hands, it won't define me. I know where I stand. Never could blind me, that's not who I am. Yo tengo mi familia, so we got peace. Cuando estamos juntos, it brings relief. When the stress of the world tries to pull you down, turn up the music and dance to the sound. Rico,
Yo no soy lo poquito que yo tengo. Te lo doy, el dinero no me alcanza. Lo que abunda es la esperanza. Yeah. Rico, no soy lo poquito que yo tengo. Te lo doy, el dinero no me alcanza. Lo que abunda es la esperanza. Even though I don't have much, everything that I have is for us. See, money don't mean nothing to me and my folk, cause what we have is a whole lot of hope, yeah.
Mango juice, you reach out my hand, sinking my feet into the white sand, swimming free in a crystal blue sea, wondering who's been here before me, who sailed and settled, prevailed with metal while facing adversity. La fuerza del obrero, I live with this song in me.
Yeah, Rico, no lo soy lo poquito que yo tengo. Te lo doy, el dinero no me alcanza. Lo que abunda es la esperanza. Rico, no lo soy lo poquito que yo tengo. Te lo doy, el dinero no me alcanza. Lo que abunda es la esperanza. Rico,
This is your bit.
no lo soy lo poquito que yo tengo. No poquito que yo tengo. No me alcanza. Lo que abunda es la esperanza. Yeah. No lo soy, no lo soy.
Te lo doy, el dinero no me alcanza.
Lo que abunda es la esperanza.
I'm fading it out.
She's fading it out.
If only our recording sessions were this much fun.
Yeah.
They're not.
They are. Your recording sessions aren't this much fun?
No. It's torture for me. Have you heard my voice? Come on. Anyway, so that song Rico, you know, I wrote a long time ago, but it always feels good because to me, it's the sentiment of, you know, right now what we're going through, you know, and also what people struggle with every single day in many places across the world, in many countries. I want to pass it over now to Marisa, Miss Marisa Ronstadt, who's going to present another song.
Yeah, kind of along the same lines as what Maya was just talking about, how, you know, there's struggle everywhere. This song was written a long time ago and produced by Quetzal Flores and Marta Gonzalez. And on my first solo album called Blueberry Moon, this song is called Change. All we can do is song starts now. With me, up and down, down we go. Except that we cannot control. Forever it will be evolving more. Everybody, 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 on the count of three. Where did prosperity go amongst humanity? All that's left insanity. Round, 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 and round, round we go. Can't be free until we know it's you and me. Be the change you want to see. Everybody, 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 on the count of three. One begins with you and me. Be the change, be the change, be the change you want to see. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. So, you know, thinking about the questions I was asking a little while ago, I'm going to ask you all questions now, but thinking about those questions, and, you know, looking at things from, oftentimes we're asked to look at things from a needs assessment, right? But when we're looking at things from a resource-based assessment, you know, what is it that you all have and need to become and do what needs to be done? You gotta unmute. You gotta unmute first before you can answer that question.
Are you talking to us?
I'm talking to you all.
All right,
Yeah.
you all. Okay. Okay, sorry. Ask me again.
So the question is basically,
This is a question, Quetzal.
who do I need and want to become?
Right.
Or what do I need and who do I want to become to change shit?
Right. What do I need? I mean, we all need shelter. We need safety. We need to be free from violence. We need healthcare. We need free education. We need free healthcare. All those basic fundamental human rights that will sustain us. But when it goes beyond that, for me, it's community. I need community. I need to be around people. I need to be in an environment where we are sharing. I love the idea of co-ops, where everybody owns and everybody participates and everybody has a stake in it, and where we're held accountable to one another. You know, and I think for me to continue growing, I need to continue growing spiritually. I think you get that from community. I think there's big changes that need to happen in this society, and there are communities around the world that have done this. I believe the Zapatista community is one that manages to be autonomous and to thrive in ways that we are not here in Los Angeles. That's what comes to mind for me. I need art. I need music. Marisa?
Same for me, you know, kind of back on our level of like community artists, we need each other to encourage each other, to push each other when we're down. You know, Maya and I will get on the phone every once in a while and she'll call me and say, I'm stuck, I can't write. And then I'll tell her to play music that inspires her, and she'll be like, okay, I'll call you right back. We need those pushes from each other. And we also need to speak up for people that are voiceless, that are not, you know, recognized and need the most help from us, from people that have that microphone in our hand or are able to go out and march and have, you know, all of these great amenities and all these things that a lot of people do not have. We need to speak up for those people. That's what we need.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. So just to add to that question, are there examples of that you've seen? Maya, you mentioned the Zapatistas, but are there other examples that either of you have seen more recently of people coming together and taking situations into their own hands and really impacting their lives and really, you know, holding that agency and that power and building power together?
Yeah, I mean, I think we see it. Am I muted? I can't remember.
No, you're good. You're good.
I think we see it with Black Lives Matter. We see it with, there's a lot of strong nonprofit organizations who are coming together, who are changing laws, you know, for the better. Measure R just passed here, and I know that was something that Patrisse Cullors was heading up as well. That's real change. I've seen with our reclaimers in El Sereno, families who are houseless, who are moving into these abandoned houses that Caltrans owns. And they're just, you know, there's this property and homes that have been empty for years and years. Over the last 30 years, they've been vacant and just holding them. And so we have reclaimers who are going in, not just to reclaim a home, but to reclaim so much more, you know. And I think those are ways that community are taking things into their own hands. Those are real life, real time examples that I'm seeing.
That was the example that I was going to say too, like seeing, you know, all of that on social media and seeing just crowds in front of houses, one by one by one, and actually it having an outcome, a positive outcome to sheltering families that, you know, would otherwise be out on the street, to be able to provide that from their, you know, the community that was loving them and trying to protect them did just that. And it's really impressive to see right now.
Since we're talking about them, I want to give a shout out to DJ Mariposa and DJ Gatita, my two homegirls that are some of the youth that are in one of those houses. So I'm going to ask you all just one more question, and then we'll get back to the music. So, you know, story sharing, storytelling is really important. It's a really important part of what we do as musicians. It's and then many other people do this. I have the privilege of working with a brother named Michael McCarty, who's a former Panther, who he was like he's a professional storyteller, right? Have mouth, will run it, is what he says. And he's taught me so much about the value of the story. And we got to work together in multiple prisons, and it was just an eye-opening experience. So I want to hear some stories from you all real quick. I'm going to tell my story first, and then I'm going to ask you all to tell the story. But like, you know, growing up and now being able to reflect on housing and have a critical analysis on housing, like I didn't realize what we were experiencing when we were younger. You know, we were on Section 8. We were on food stamps. Like, you know, we had all these programs, and my mother never let us feel shame. She turned that shame into power, you know, or what someone was trying to shame her, you know, because we were receiving government quote unquote assistance, which is actually like, should be called, you know, government responsibility, right? And so, and accountability. And so I remember, you know, growing up and seeing the Section 8 people come to the house and do inspections and blah, blah, blah. And it didn't really faze me. You know, I never felt like I was missing anything or deficient of. And like, I feel like many poor people economically, where people need to hear other narratives and tell their stories in powerful ways, so that it's not, you know, it doesn't stay in that area of shame, and it gets turned into power. So please share some stories with me, each one of you. I didn't tell you I was gonna ask these questions. You got to be ready. I got to unmute too. You got to be ready for my questions, girls.
Okay. Ask again. What is it that I'm a story?
Yeah, it could be your own story. It could be it could be a story that you know of somebody else, and just like a powerful story about housing and dignity and love.
Well, I mean, if there are any stories that can be told, they cannot be told by me, but they can be told by my father. My dad was an immigrant that grew up extremely, extremely poor and was dropped off, on the side of a little city called Tempe, Arizona at the time in the late 60s to fend for himself. And he came out on the other side learning 5 languages, graduating cum laude from Arizona State University and being this activist, not only in Phoenix, Arizona, but Los Angeles. And he's one of the most, we're always telling him to write a memoir because of all of the things and all of the people that he has helped, not only for my sister and I, but just in our communities. He is that voice. He's always been that voice. And, we're lucky enough to see him do the things that he does. And not only that, but to march alongside him and to be able to participate in the things that he gets to do as an activist. He embedded those ideas and wants and needs from us, for my sister and I, to be activists in our community as well.
And he has a mean hook shot. Maya?
Where do I begin? I guess my mind, same thing, origin story. So my mother's Turkish, my father's Mexican. They lived in Mexico where my sister and I were born when they became married and then moved to Australia. So I grew up in Australia. We were new immigrants settling in a community where migrants settled. First in Melbourne and then in Sydney, moved up to Sydney because the same thing of chasing employment, chasing work, my father looking for work. He faced the same thing that so many immigrants face, which is he was lucky to have to study in the University of Guanajuato and have an engineering degree, but that didn't mean anything in Australia. So he had to start all over again. Qualifications weren't recognized. And it was a real struggle. My mom didn't complete university, so she started doing what she knew, which was, my mom is the Turkish one, but she learned how to make tortillas from my grandmother, my Mexican grandmother. And so she ended up washing dishes in one of the first Mexican restaurants in Tex-Mex in Melbourne back in the 80s, early 80s. And when the owner found out that she knew how to make tortillas from scratch, he started employing her doing that because they used to buy them in cans and have them imported back in those days. And I remember my mom says that, he told her one day, you should trademark the tortilla. And she's like, everybody knows how to do this. So that's funny. But she really started at the bottom. She also learnt, she speaks Turkish, English, and Spanish. So she started in the field of translating and doing translation, using what you have, using whatever resources you have to get by. So I feel like, growing up, we always had a home. We moved a bit, but we always had a roof over our heads, and whatever struggle my parents were going through, we didn't feel it. We couldn't feel it in the home. Mom knew how to stretch everything. She learned how to sew. She taught herself everything, so she would make us clothes. We would get to pick fabrics. I remember wanting clothes with tags in them, saying, no, I want something with a tag, not a designer or just a tag, meaning like bought from the store. It could have been anything. And because I was so used to her making me stuff. And now it's like the opposite. I wish I could just have, mom's handmade clothes. But it was never, we didn't feel that struggle. They knew how to cover that up and how to create joy and love and really protected us, me and my sister, from that. And, you know, I think I learned my work ethic from my mom. She's only just retired, and she's worked her entire life, you know, and every single day, and so hard, and also been involved so much in community organizations and cultural affairs, and she went on to do incredible stuff. She's going to be embarrassed watching this. Hi, Mom. But anyway, in terms of, you know, stories, I think that's, you know, as Marisa was saying, we go to our parents' story because that's what we feel so proud of, and because of their struggle, we are here, and we are living a life with opportunity, with education, and, you know, with a one foot up, you know. And I think that's what everybody needs. We all just need one leg up. We need a chance. Everybody deserves that chance.
Yeah. So, you know, I started off talking about Tongva people, and then capitalism, right? And the emergence of capitalism. And, you know, the way we talk about, there's this idea in capitalism called upward mobility, right? And so I oftentimes like to challenge that idea and talk about outward mobility, right? Or in this case, it would be one leg out, right? And so oftentimes I feel like we're trapped in these bubbles in this system, and we're in it, but we're not of it. Luckily, we still have those ties to really, really powerful information that comes from our ancestors, that comes from our parents, that comes from our grandparents, you know, and we've all shared these stories with one another in multiple settings. And I feel like it's really important for us to understand that something else exists besides this, right? And, you know, that we're not always going to be like in a very near future, we are no longer going to be on the outside looking in, right? And we will be free again. Take it away.
I'm on the outside looking in. It's such a lonely place to be. And I wonder if it will ever be the same again. But if it's not, it's okay with me. Things ain't the same as yesterday. Yesterday seems so the same again. And you know what? It's okay with me.
Yeah, woo! Can hear the screams from around the world, Marisa. That was beautiful.
Here to present Free Again, Miss Maya Jupiter.
I'm gonna welcome back my husband for this. Aloe Black.
The beauty, the beast, and the will to be. The grip and the claws dig into me. I can't breathe. Let me be free again.
Living in a world where money rules all. Living in a time where the fakes will fall. Living in a place where our leaders, our followers, pop overflow, but they still want more. Still want it all, won't stop, won't quit. Till I get all of it, makes me wanna spit. Wanna see how much we can spend. Never wanna see us make ends. Wanna see us take bends, fake trends, break bread, never make amends. Turn on the TV, sick of what I see. Sick of dirty politics around me. I'm sick to death, quick to test. Need to confess, I need some respect, I need some rest. In this rat race, I need some space. Come on!
The beauty, the beast, and the will to be. The grip and the claws dig into me. I can't breathe. Let me be free again.
Election, I'm the best one. I'll change your life overnight if you just come. Let me put my hand in your uterus. You just rest and take it. How I give it, don't wanna hear no complaints. I'm doing it for mankind's sake. Make no mistake, they don't care who dies or lose their lives in the name of war. Innocent children, women and civilian who never seen our shores. Lies have tied us into desire to keep us wanting more. Of the cycle of hate that continues as we refuse to withdraw.
Beauty, the beast, and the will to be. The grip and the claws dig into me. I can't breathe. Let me be free again.
Hello, what are we gonna do up in here? We're gonna cancel rent. We're gonna cancel mortgages. We're gonna cancel debt. Homes for all. Am I right?
Absolutely.
That's right. Don't want, don't need, no.
Don't need any information.
We're gonna need some information though right now.
Tell me, cause I don't need to. The beauty, the beast,
No
and
time
the
for shutting it out.
will to be.
We're gonna need all the information. Cancelrent.us.
The grip and the claws
Go online and
dig
sign the
into
demands.
me.
It's time to sign those demands.
I can't breathe. Let me be free again.
Pays me to believe that this is true. Constrain my mouth, I don't mean it to. Go off, I'm not screaming at you, but I won't adjust my attitude. Excuse me, but now I'll be rude. But you control my daily mood. With one hand you hold on my food. What else should I come to conclude? I am somebody, we are not all alone here. Corporate dollars, outfit dollars, and the damage is severe. The city sleeps, fathers weep, waking to their biggest fear. Turn up to work only to find no more career.
I want to be free. I want to be free. I want to be free. Free again.
To be free, to be free, to be
free again.
To be free, to be free. To be free, to be free.
Again.
We just want to be free. We want to be free, not just out of our houses, but free of this, what we're living in right now, this debt, this way, these structures, they do not work. And we don't just want recovery from the coronavirus. We want beyond recovery. We want to move beyond recovery. We want to create a better society that really serves and protects us all and nourishes us. Isn't that right, Quetzal?
Hell yeah.
That's right. To be free. Quetzal, you produced that track. Thank you for that.
I love you guys. I love you both very much. Thank you so much for doing this.
Aren't you singing on that song too, Marisa? Are you on that one? Not that one. Usually you do. Live.
Live, yeah.
So again,
thanks, Alo. He just left. See how he just does that? You gotta go back up to the kids.
it's beautiful.
Thank you, Alo. Love
Beautiful. Yes. So thank you both so much. And I'm going to close it out now by saying that Beyond Recovery, Homes for All demands include ensuring healthy, stable, thriving communities and a future for us with an easeful future free of debt that includes canceling rent, mortgage and utility payments, and a guarantee of safe, healthy homes for all people now. If you're not going to be able to make rent on April 1st or May 1st, please fill out the survey to get connected with a national solution. We're not asking people to do this alone and go solo. It's not about that. We need each other. We need groups of people to come together, large groups of people to come together to create the appropriate pressure to be able to make this real. So sign on the demands. In the meantime, keep dancing, keep loving, keep sharing. And we have more concerts coming on a daily. Tomorrow we have Ana Tijoux at 11 a.m. So please join in. She's all the way from Chile. She's going to be joining in, and it's beautiful because that's a sister who is also very committed and who is always ready and willing to fight with us, alongside us. We got La Marisol. We got a children's concert with Jose Luis Orozco coming up. So please, please, please stay tuned. And many more, many more. So to stay updated, subscribe and like Right to the City on all social media platforms. And what is that? Cancel Rent.
US.
Cancelrent.us.
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 Thank you, everybody. Much love. Be safe. Be hopeful.
Peace.
Adios.